Today we're here at the Dome Home, 21415 Dolphin Avenue in Panama City Beach, Florida. And today I'm gonna take you through what caught my eye with this property, what we like about it, why we think it'd make a good vacation rental. I have not been inside of this property yet, so I'm gonna take you in real time inside to show you what I would change about it to maximize the profits for a vacation rental. So hopefully by the end of this video, you feel more confident about choosing a vacation rental of your own and what you can do to put more cash in your pocket. So stick around. We're gonna start on the outside of our Dome Home, and I'm gonna cover the top two things that me and Brittany look for before we ever even step foot inside of an Airbnb, okay? And the number one is going to be character. So why does character matter? Well, when we're looking at a vacation rental, you have a ton of competition for other vacation rentals, other guests, other homes on Airbnb, and you have got to stand out and give guests a reason to choose your home over all the other options, and character is a great way to stand out. Obviously, we have no lack of character with our Dome Home here, as it definitely stands out because it's unlike any other property. So that's why I love this house so much. It catches your eye. So character is number one. The second point that I'm going to look for is the street view. When I look at the surrounding areas of a property, what does it look like? Okay, I'm not judging anyone that's around me, but that appearance makes a big difference, okay? When you have a guest that's showing up to your vacation rental, they don't know the area that they're staying in most likely. You may know that it's a quiet, comfortable street, but if they show up and there's a lot of foot traffic or there's a lot of maybe rundown properties or things like that, that may deter guests from feeling comfortable at your property. So when I look around the street view of the Dome Home, I see some beautiful, well-maintained properties. I see some brand new construction homes. There's a little bit of a mix of older and newer homes, but ultimately it's a very quiet, comfortable street. For the time that I've been here, there's been very few people that come through here, and this is probably a great option, okay? But if you choose a property that doesn't have a good street view, you might have a guest that shows up, they feel uncomfortable regardless of how you feel about it, and they complain. They, one, leave a bad review about the street, which is awful. The reviews are our lifeblood of our business. So they leave a bad review, or they leave as soon as they get here and they ask for a refund. They're either gonna get it from you or they're gonna get it from Airbnb. So we want to avoid that problem altogether and make sure we have a house with character and a house that's on a great street. Okay, so like I said, I have not been inside of here yet, so I'm taking you inside with me for the first time. Let's go check this place out and see what it really looks like. Dude, this place, I love this place. I mean, it is truly unlike any other place that I've seen. It opens up really well too. Like the floor plan and everything is great. Like I think it opens, we've got some bedrooms right here. It's got a ton of character with this like real wood right here, and the paneling, the different colored paneling and the fans and everything. I mean, it's spacious. Like it's got a lot of natural light with these windows. I like this place, man. So let's talk about the top three things that matter on the interior, okay? The number one thing, or the first thing we're gonna talk about, is aesthetics, okay? Obviously, aesthetics matter. So when a guest is going to choose your property from the beginning, we already talked about charm, but aesthetics matter very heavily because we're gonna get professional photography done on our Airbnb listing, and then when we put it online, that's the very first thing that gets someone in your door. You don't need to worry about impressing them when they get here if they're not even booking. So booking is number one, and the thing that gets people to book is aesthetics, okay? So a big thing that I would talk about on the inside of this is, yes, the character and the aesthetics are very much there. You've got a lot of really cool features here, but I would update a couple of things just to make it pop a little bit. And it doesn't take as much as you would think. Some things I would consider would be like these wood paneling. They're kind of a neutral tone color, which is fine. That's fine for everybody, but give them some pop, you know, add some color, add some splash along the side of these here, and make sure that it speaks volume. Same thing with the furniture. The furniture in here is nice. There's nothing wrong with it, but it is very plain. You know, it's a little bit like middle of the road to appeal to anybody. I would go ahead and put some really funky furniture in here to match the vibe of the Dome Home. If I was going to really go for a theme in this house, I would go for a disco theme. It's like a big disco ball. So I would find some way to add some fun, funky colors, make a 70s vibe inside of here, put some nice, fun, funky funky, flashy furniture in here. And how many F's can you say? And I would really light this place up to make it an experience. So one of the biggest ways that we can change the aesthetics of our property is through the kitchen. Everybody knows that the kitchen is the heart of the home. The kitchens and the bathrooms, when renovated properly, make the biggest impact on our property. So what would I do to this kitchen to make it pop? Well, first thing I would do is take these countertops, get rid of them, put some kind of stone here. A modern looking stone countertop would make a big difference. Same thing with these cabinets. I would at least paint these as they are and change the hardware. If you could, change out these doors for a more modern cabinet door, and a more modern piece of hardware is really gonna make a big difference. And then the third thing I would do are the appliances. These are in good condition. They look clean, but they're older, they're white. I would go ahead and change them out to a black or a stainless steel appliance set, and that would be, those changes alone would make a huge difference in this kitchen. Something else I want to point out if you're looking to buy a property is that this kitchen does not have a dishwasher. So I would either look at installing a dishwasher or be prepared that if you're not cleaning this on your own and you have a cleaning staff, whoever is coming in here to clean after your guests, they're going to be responsible for doing the dishes, all right? You can ask your guests to do it themselves, but we gotta be careful with how much we're asking guests to do because they're not the cleaning crew and they're paying a cleaning fee. So without a dishwasher, you've gotta be prepared to take that on if you don't have a plan for it. So now we've seen the middle of the house, let's check out these bedrooms a little bit. So this is a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom property, which, you know, if I could always get a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, I'm gonna go for that, but a 2-2 is not bad always, okay? You can get away with a 2-bedroom, 2-bath and it'd be okay. These are spacious bedrooms. This looks like maybe a king size bed in here. I mean, there's a lot of room, so that's definitely a plus. We're leading in here to our oh wow, that's interesting. We're going into a little cave here on our 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. So this is a 2-bathroom, but it's almost like a Jack and Jill bathroom where we've got our first half bath right off of this side, and then we go through to looks like a shared shower here. Let's see if I can get a good view of this shower. I mean, it's a big stone shower. Like, this is neat. But it looks like a shared shower and 2 half baths. So really this is kind of like a 1.5 bath, like a 1 full bath. But, you know, same thing we talked about with our kitchens. Our bathrooms could use a little bit of updating, right? Maybe a little bit more lighting, just some paint. You know, that vanity is really not bad how it is, but even just a different, brighter paint color in here, I think would make a big difference. This shower is really nice, but you might, you know, you could retile it, but honestly, I'd probably leave it how it is. It looks really good how it is. It's clean, spacious. You got the nice little knob right here, and you can step in on the side, so I like that. Towel rack. But yeah, I'd probably just change the paint in these bathrooms, and that's it. So you might have a little bit of money in the kitchen, but at least in your bathrooms, you're not spending very much. And then in our bedrooms, obviously I would just paint these and probably change this out for some more modern closet doors and stuff like that. And then of course our bedding is gonna make a big difference. So our decorations in here are quite a bit outdated. So definitely fluffing those up, making the walls nice and bright and having some modern linen and some modern finishes in the bedrooms are gonna make a big difference as well. So while we're on the topic of bedrooms, I want to bring us to the second point that I want to make on the inside, which is heads in beds. Okay, this is a term that is used by Airbnb hosts quite often, which means the more heads that you can get into more beds is more money. Okay, so the way that a property is laid out, the more people that I can host in my property, the more money that I'm going to make at that property. Okay. That obviously depends on the bedroom count, but there's things you can do to maximize the number of heads in beds. So down here, for example, on our bottom floor, we have our 2 bedrooms, our 2 main bedrooms. You've got the one on the left, which is pretty spacious. That looks like a full-size bed, maybe a queen, but you know, decent size. You could probably put a bigger bed in here. You could even do some bunks in here, but to get enough people, if I have a queen size or a king size bed, that's going to sleep 2 people. So One bigger bed is going to sleep two, a full or a twin is going to sleep one. So at least on these bottom two bedrooms with this queen and king bed, I am sleeping 4 people down here. So that alone is 4 heads in beds downstairs. Now, since we want to maximize the amount of space we have, I have not been to this loft yet, but we want to make sure we have enough space to fit as many people as possible. So what can we do with this loft area? Well, it looks like the current owners have already taken advantage of heads and beds, and they've got 4 separate beds up here to maximize that space. So you've got, you might can sleep 2 there, but anyways, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 upstairs and 4 downstairs, which means this property can sleep 8 people. That's 8 heads and beds. Something to consider with the heads and beds is that you've got to have the infrastructure in the property to support that number of people. So if you've got a 3-bedroom house and only 1 bathroom, if you shove a queen bed in every bedroom and you say that you sleep 6, do you think 6 people are going to want to share 1 bathroom? So you got to kind of give and take a little bit and make sure that you have the proper support in the house to fit that number of people you're trying to fit in it. So if I've got 3 bedrooms or 6 people, I need at least 2 bathrooms. I don't think the setup up here is bad at all. The color is very fun. I would update the linens just to make it a little more comfy, a little more modern. And I would probably put a bunk, maybe 2 bunk beds up here, 1 on either side, and then put some sort of entertainment in the middle. So I've got these 4 beds. I could do 1 bunk bed over here, and then I could do 1 bunk bed over here, and then in the middle I've got a big TV or a big game room or something where this could be a multi-use space, so that the people that are sleeping up here don't have to just share the TV that's downstairs. We've got 1 upstairs and 1 downstairs. Now everything you have to give and take a little bit, because now we're battling between TV volume downstairs and TV volume upstairs, and we're in a loft, so there's no separation of that sound. So, you know, give and take a little bit, but just an idea. Okay, so we've talked about aesthetics and we've talked about heads and beds, and the number 3 most important feature we're going to cover is amenities. When a guest shows up, they want to be wowed by the property. They need to be entertained while they're here if they're not out doing other things. So we need to make sure we have proper amenities. One of the things that I'm going to cover right now is this window unit. So there's window units all throughout this property. They have to have them. There's no way you can have central heating and air conditioning in this type of home, which I understand. One thing I would consider is maybe try to do a mini split or some other more modern option than the window units. They just from the outside have a little bit worse of an appearance, the window unit does. And when I first walked in here, I noticed that it is very hot inside of here because it's a hot day and they can't leave these things running all the time. So one of the downsides of having these is that I can't have it turned on. So a guest is going to walk into this house, they're going to go, man, it's really hot in here. And you don't really have much of a choice other than for them to turn it on when they get here. So probably the most common amenity inside an Airbnb is going to be TV, right? So this TV we've got in the living room mounted on the staircase. This is probably about a 32-inch TV. I personally prefer bigger TVs in an Airbnb, especially if you've only got one. I want it to be a big TV. So I'm going 55-inch minimum. Really, if you can put a 60 or larger in there, I would prefer that. It just gives your guests a nice view and they say, wow, what a nice TV. So you've only got one TV in here. Like I said, upstairs, I'd probably go ahead and put some sort of entertainment center upstairs as well. If not the TV, then maybe some sort of game or something up there so that everyone's not stuck in this living room. So we discussed how if you have too many guests and not enough bathroom space, that can be a problem. Well, here's another problem, is that eating and relaxing, if you don't have enough space for those guests, then that's going to be a problem too. You know, we're sleeping 8 people in here potentially, anywhere from 6 to 8 people with the numbers of beds that are in here. But when we look at our furniture, we've only got seating for 3 people. So the rest of the guests are going to be forced to sit at the table in the back, which is fine, but they just can't see the TV. So we need a bigger TV, more seating, and you know, it's a little bit smaller property here, but just something to consider. Another consideration is TVs in the bedroom. So Brittany and I's Airbnb, we have had guests not book because we didn't have a television in the bedroom. People will message us beforehand and say, is there a TV in the master bedroom? We would say no, we have a big one in the living room, and that would cause people not to book. Some people really enjoy watching TV in bed, and so that might be a deterrent for your guests. This property doesn't have anything in the bedrooms. You know, it depends on who you are, whether you want to put it up there or not, but just something to consider. You could include that as an extra amenity. Another example of some common amenities would be board games. So right here under the TV, I would probably go ahead and put a shelf right here, just a little bitty shelf, and I would put some board games underneath there so that when guests walk in, they can see, hey, I've got this TV right here, I've got all these board games, and if we don't want to watch whatever's on the TV, we can all hang out at this table over here and we can play a board game. So that's another common one, board games, puzzles, things like that that can keep people entertained and give them options. So we discussed our inside amenities. Let's go ahead and take a look around the outside and see what else we could do to kind of boost this property up. Well, I'm out here in the backyard. So here's our backyard space, and we got a spacious little backyard. I would probably go ahead and finish this fence in on either side, because when you have a completely fenced in backyard, you have the ability to offer pets. And when you offer pets, you really open up the number of people that you can rent the property to. So I'm a believer in offering pets, and finishing this fence in gives you the option to do that. You can also add a little bit of privacy. Now, something else I would do is we have this big already concrete paver patio right here. And a really easy way to elevate a space like this is take your string lights and go ahead and add string lights from the corner of the house to that tree right there. I would add string lights from the corner of the house to this fence right here, and really have an opportunity when it gets dark outside to turn those lights on, and it would really light up this space. You could have some outdoor furniture right here, a little fire pit right here. You can put a propane fire pit so that when you turn it on, you don't have to worry about guests leaving burning embers or anything. So really, I think all you would have to do here, honestly, you don't even have to fence it in, put those string lights up, put some exterior furniture out here, and put a propane fire pit right here would make a huge difference. Some other common amenities, especially around here at the beach, is like pool and a hot tub type stuff, but you're talking a lot of money, big investments to do that. So I wouldn't say you necessarily have to, you can get away with it. But another thing I would do with this big area back here is go ahead and put maybe some horseshoes on either side, where somebody can come out here and throw horseshoes if they want to, or you can have cornhole boards stored on the inside or stored in this shed where guests can have access to cornhole, guests to horseshoes. They can do all kind of little outside activities. You could put a playground back here if you wanted to, but honestly, that's liability reasons that I'm not a huge fan of playgrounds at Airbnbs. Because somebody gets hurt, it's your fault. So, but you could put some little simple games out here and it would make a big difference. So if we head back to the front yard, there's one other little thing I would like to add to the front yard that I think could make it fun. And if we go around this corner right here, you'll see these little trees. All right, it's a little shaded area right here in the front of the house. I'd go ahead and add a little tree swing right here, man. Either put a little bench over here in the middle of these trees, or add a little tree swing for children. Something like that would give an opportunity for them to do something fun, take some pictures out here, play in these little trees, sit on a swing. You could even just hang like a normal bench swing off of one of these, and that'd be a nice little addition to this front yard here. So there you have it, our dome home. Go ahead and comment below what you thought about this property. What would you do differently? What do you disagree with that I said? What changes would you make? Would you leave it how it is? Okay, I love this place. I think it's a great property. It is actively for sale if you're interested. All my information is below. You can see it right here at the bottom of the video, or find me in the link in the description as well. If you like this content and found value, go ahead and like and subscribe for more. We're working every week to bring you as many videos as possible, providing as much value as possible for life here on the beach for both investors and people that live here alike. So I appreciate you watching. Go ahead and stick around for the next one, or click one of these other videos I have waiting for you right now. See you next time.